the Debrief, your post-race edition for the 2019 Atleticom We Run Rome. So, before diving in to the questions that you have sent, let us take a look at some of the highlights of the race. So, the race was basically held in three categories, that is the 10 kilometers competitive, the 10 kilometers non-competitive and the 5k non-competitive. So I participated in the 10k non-competitive and the route was the same as last year, where we began at Terme di Caracalla, then towards Circo Massimo, Piazza Venezia, Via del Corso, Piazza del Popolo, Villa Borghese, which included almost a 1 kilometer uphill section, then to Via Veneto, Quirinale, Via dei Fori Imperiali, Colosseo, and finally back to Terme di Caracalla. I finished the entire event in 48 minutes and my average speed was 4 minutes and 50 seconds per kilometer. So, after completing 15 kilometers in the month of October, the general feeling was that this would be a walk in the park, but actually, when you put in factors such as the cold weather and slow moving traffic, well, it was a bit of a different event in the end. So I was happy that I was able to improve my time, but as I will basically be explaining in the questions, when I answer your questions, I'll be explaining why certain things didn't go well, what could be the possibilities and how we can probably improve next time around. So without any further delay, let's go to the first question. So what were your expectations for the run? So my expectations, I think, were quite practical this time. I didn't want to set high expectations because this time I basically was relying on the data that we had collected from the previous events and also from my normal running sessions. Another fact also was that this time we didn't get enough pre-race preparation time because month of December, right from the 5th of December, there were some other commitments or the other, and it was very difficult to find time to basically put in the long run. So it was basically, the focus was on short distance running of 4 to 6 kilometers, and another reason also, the place where we run, that is the Lungo Tevere, was actually covered with water for most of the month of November and also some parts of December, and also it was quite slippery because you had the silt that had actually come on the banks, and which made running there quite risky because you could slip or fall. So I had to basically run on the road, and which means that whenever you encounter a signal, you have to stop. So it was basically of this stop-start kind of a routine that we had, which of course doesn't go on very well when you want to have a continuous rhythm. So these were the practical difficulties that I had preparing for the event. But with whatever data we collected, I thought that 4 minutes 45 seconds could be a practical enough target that we could try, but it wasn't the case. As you know, we fell short by 5 seconds, but I guess if everything had to go on well, even 4 minutes 30 seconds per kilometer was very much possible. So that was that. Okay, moving on to the next question. So that's about the start. So you had a terrible start. Can you explain what went wrong? Well, there were certain factors which could possibly be the reason. First and foremost is, this was the first time that we were basically running with a target in mind. So the last 3 runs which I ran, it was sort of just running and just basically enjoying the event. This time I had a target in mind. I had the target of 4 minutes 45 seconds or less in mind. So as a result of that, I was trying to push right at the beginning because there's not much of time to basically make up later on. So since it's a 10 kilometers run, so I think I ran a bit fast in the beginning, but again it was very difficult to get past people. Usually it's quite enjoyable, making your way through the field. This time it was very difficult. I mean, I lost a lot of time. It almost took an eternity, to find some clear space. So yeah, I guess that was another factor which probably, why my start wasn't good. And so it almost took me around 3 kilometers to basically then be able to find some clean air in front of me and clear space wherein I could then settle down into a rhythm. But before that it was quite difficult, and the reason for that probably we don't know as yet. So I have to basically analyze the data that we had. Probably I pushed a bit too much in the beginning when I had to sort of conserve energy when we were in traffic, and then probably we could have used it later. That was another thing. Next, also during our practice sessions, I realized that the energy recovery was a bit of an issue, that I wasn't able to recover that much energy that quickly. So that was again another factor. So there are a combination of factors which probably affected my start this time around, and well, I have to basically review everything and look at all the data, look at at what look at my pace, because of course we have the splits in each kilometer, so that will basically be able to help me to analyze where I should have pushed or where I shouldn't have pushed and saved energy. So that will be done in the next few days. Moving on to the next question. How was the event compared to the previous edition? So, well, I think this edition I enjoyed a bit more because last time around it was my first event and I was very nervous, and the plus point to that is you don't have any expectations, so you can basically be happy with whatever you achieve. This time around, well, of course we already finished 4 events. This was the 4th event, and it was so I had expectations, and I was trying to basically achieve something which I thought was possible, but yeah, it didn't work out in the end. But yeah, so I think I enjoyed this one as well, because I like the color of the jersey. Blue this time was pretty good, and of course, yes, I guess the route was pretty nice, and the crowd support excellent, because I think that can give you a few tenths or a few seconds, a bit of energy, which can really make the difference actually there. So people cheering you as you run, that's always a nice sign. And finally, describe your thoughts at the end of the race. At the end of the race, I knew that our time was competitive. I did not know exactly what was the exact time, because for some reason the app that we were using, I guess the GPS signal was weak or something. We stopped receiving data. So the timer was running, but so I didn't know my pace as yet. Then we came back, we checked the official timing, and yes, it was 48 minutes, some 10 seconds or something. And yeah, so that was pretty good actually there. And with that, I realized that of course it was my personal best, so I was very happy. And also it was basically a moment of gratitude, for everybody who have supported me throughout the year, in whatever way possible. And also it was a good way to end the year, because after a bit of a slow start to the year, I think we managed to do some fantastic stuff throughout the entire of the season, and to end on that note was pretty good, pretty satisfying for me. So that was it. And so that's it, folks, for this edition of the Debrief. Do join us next time around in the month of April for the debrief on the Roma Appia run. Thanks for watching, and see you in April.